Okay, this was an experiment that's been done. And what they do is this is on and this is on. So we have one slit that the data is being taken, and this one's off and that one's off. And the point of this is what happens. What are you going to see? Okay, so you have data with one slit and not the other. Well, this makes a very important point that I wanted to bring up, and that is that if the logic of your experiment is deductive, deductive means there's no wiggle room. It's this, if this, then that. Then that's as good as the data. Okay? So deductive logic can fill in for the actual data, and that's what we have here. So we have a particle that comes out, and we said 8 particles a second, 4 a second going through each slit. So 4 times a second, something will go through this slit, and something will be written there in R1. And then they'll go, pick one of these single value distributions and stick it right here in this slit 1 pile someplace with a random Y. All right, now the pulse comes through, and there wasn't a count here because we know there's going to be 4 particles a second going through the second slit. We just know that. That's the logic of the setup, right? All right, so now I'm the system. One's gone through that other slit where there's no measurement. What am I going to do? Where am I going to put it? See, if I decide to put it over here, like in part of a diffraction pattern, I'm going to have a problem because somebody's going to say, well, if it's over there, it must have come through slit 2. Because if it went through slit 1, it'd be right here. But if I know it went through slit 2, then it has to be right here. Because once I know it's through slit 2, it just has to hit behind slit 2. So deductive logic tells you that anything that doesn't hit here will have to come through the other slit, which means it has to hit here. So even though there isn't any which way data for this slit at all, you get these double bars. In other words, deductive logic fills in for the which way data on that one side. That's an interesting point, and that becomes important later. But this is an experiment that's been done many times, and that's the way that works, and that's why it works that way. So in this case, you say, yeah, but we don't measure any particles going through slit 2, so you need to make them a diffraction pattern because that's the rule. And no, it isn't, because deductive logic says not.